Welcome to Mindset Matters, reminding you that your mindset matters and it matters a lot. Today I'm so excited because I have my first guest to interview on this show. I chose her to be my first guest because she has a way, the woman that you're about to meet, has a way of helping young girls and women shift their mindset so that if they're struggling with self esteem issues, with uh, self loathing, uh, lacking in self worth, self value, perhaps they're suffering from depression, anxiety, um, even troubled teenagers, what she has been able to do, the lives that she has been able to change, is absolutely breathtaking. And she does it in such a unique way. So even though she works with women and young girls, you guys out there, if you have a woman in your life or a teenager that may benefit from what her powerful program offers, you'll definitely want to know about it. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to my next guest. And now, everyone, I would like to introduce you to my first guest on the show. Her name is Rachel Whitehawk, and she's the executive director of the Whitehawk Ranch and the Whitehawk Institute for Cognitive Resilience for Women. You know, the lives of women are about so much more than what we look like or what we wear. And Rachel Whitehawk's Life Lived Well strives to help women realize the balance they need to live life with conviction, power, and genuine joy. And to quote Rachel, first of all, before I quote Rachel, I just want to say, hi, Rachel.
Hi, Leanne. Nice to
I
see
am
you.
just truly, truly excited to have you as a guest and privileged that you're my very first guest on this new show. She sent me something that's very powerful and meaningful, and I want to just quote her now, and then we're going to get into what this is really all about. Okay? So here's what she said: We are created for a certain time, a certain place, and a certain purpose. Our only real job, if you will, in this life is to find our talents, hone them, and use them for the benefit of others and for the Creator. I believe the Creator intended for our lives to be joyous and full. We are to be in the world, but not of it. What does that mean? We are to use discernment and use the gifts and talents we have to serve others in our communities. We have to be in our communities and in our world in order to influence it. We cannot retreat from the things the world deals with. We must work alongside hurting people to show them by our life and example that joy and peace and safety are possible. But in order to make that difference in our communities and our world, we need to be healthy and balanced and ready. Rachel Whitehawk's Life Lived Well is the one portal through which you can achieve balance in all areas of your life. We provide coaching in all areas of life to include cognitive behavioral practices, relationships, goal setting, stress reduction, nutrition, weight loss, and now skincare. We are excited to launch our new skincare line with a portion of the proceeds going to fight the growing suicide epidemic nationwide. Rachel, it sounds like such an important mission, really, and I'm sure that's what it is. And I would love for you to tell our guests what, first of all, your ranch provides for women.
Well, Leanne, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you and with other people what it is we do. That paragraph that you read that I wrote is really from my heart and the truth. And I'm doing everything that I can to live my life that way. And I'm using the skills and the gifts that I have to serve others. And I think that when we get to the point in our life where we know who we are and we know what our purpose is, and we have lots of different purposes throughout our life, but there is a loving of oneself and an understanding of oneself that I think has to be achieved before we can truly be happy. And so I have spent my adult life crafting that for myself and helping others to find it in their lives. So I'm always so appreciative when someone lends an ear and wants to hear what we have to say. And you're so sweet to let us use your platform to talk about what we do. Um,
Well, as I've said to you before, I am so much about what you're about.
right.
And I know that what you do helps to benefit women in so many unique ways that I just feel like people need to know about it. And so, I'm just so grateful to have this platform to help more people become aware of what it is that you do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And you asked what the ranch does, and I think that it's we're a very unique program. So I think that the more we tell people, the more information people have, the easier it is for them to understand what we are.
Hmm.
I think we are really a lifestyle brand. We are really a philosophical foundation building entity. I tell people if you could get all the information that you needed to live your life the very best way that you could and enjoy the most out of it and be able to manage your life and manage the hardships as well as the good things that happen, would you be interested? Of course. And that really is essentially what we provide. We look at every area of your life. We have worked tirelessly over the last 17 years to create a philosophy and a methodology that gets you the best life that you could possibly have. And it incorporates all those things that you mentioned: stress reduction, relationships, health, nutrition, those kinds of things. We get the latest information, the best information. We encapsulate it into a life skills program that allows you to achieve, if you want to, if you're ready to achieve that life, the life that you want, because we only get this one life. I tell everyone we only get this one life, and it's incumbent upon us to get the most out of it. It isn't meant to be a dire struggle and a hardship all of our lives. Those difficult challenges are what make our life sweet and wonderful because we overcome them and we move through them. So we're here to work alongside women in particular and give them those skills so that they get that life. I tell people all the time, I want you to have my life.
Hmm.
That isn't to say that I want you to have the things that I have, but I want you to have the mindset that I have, the joy that I have, despite the tragedy and the heartache that I've suffered and that you've suffered. We've all suffered tremendous hardships, but our lives don't have to be defined by that. Our lives are defined by how we move through it, not what happens to us, but how we get through what happens to us. So the ranch is a an opportunity. It's an actual place, but it's actually more than just a physical location. It is an institute where we begin to treat the brain like a muscle. The brain, I feel, is a muscle. We can change habitualized thoughts and behaviors that don't work for us. We can create new neural pathways, and we can change forever the negativity and the negative thinking that we've come to that we often think that is who we are when it's really just something we've adopted to
Yes.
coping means. So
One of the things that you said about struggle, in life,
mhm,
a lot of people use that expression, life is hard and then you die. What a mindset is that? And if that's what you think, then that's what it is. But I heard another quote that says, pain is inevitable, struggle is a choice. So you mentioned that all of us have experienced pain and even devastating circumstances, but to struggle long term is a mindset and a choice.
exactly.
And that's what you help people with. Now, I have another question for you about your a life lived well. I
Hmm.
don't now is this you mentioned lifestyle. So I
Hmm.
know that what you're doing is a lifestyle, but is the life lived well a program or a lifestyle?
It really is a lifestyle. It's a program that helps kind of inculcate the candidate or the person who's participating in the program to create the new life that they want. But it really is it's a reassessment of your values, of your lifestyle, of your choices, of your future. We are empowered by information.
That's
Knowledge
true.
is power. And our job is to give you the knowledge, to give you the opportunity, and to give you the skills to apply that knowledge in your life the best way for you, that works for you. The program is oriented around the individual. It's designed to, it's revolutionary in that sense. We figured out a way. People think I've reinvented the wheel. I haven't. I've just come up with a really unique way to take an individual's life and apply this methodology to that life so that it becomes something that becomes a natural habit. You
So
know,
is it like a custom program?
it is customized. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for giving me that word.
Okay.
That's the word I'm looking for. We customize and design this to fit your life. We're all the same in so many ways. You and I've talked about this. We all have the same fears, the same concerns, the same issues, but they translate differently in our individual environments, in our individual families, and our experiences. But the methodology can be laid over every life, and every life will be improved by what we offer. I believe that 1000% in my heart, because I've seen it happen. I've been doing this 17 years and I have seen the change in people's lives. If you will do this program the way it's designed, it will become your life. And you will have control over the things that you should have control over. And you'll be, maybe for the first time in your life, aware of the things that you ought not to be trying to control. You know,
Well,
we,
that's a very important point too. Both sides of that coin are very, very important. In fact, what you're saying feels so important anyway, but particularly now,
right,
to the idea that we can have control over certain things in our life and realize the things that we can't. How does
exactly.
that play into the pandemic? What advice in particular would you give women during this time?
That's a great question. Um, you know, the COVID and this pandemic is a perfect example of something that has quickly gotten beyond our control as individuals, right? The overarching universal nature of this change is historic by, it's enormous. The
It
enormous
really is.
impact of it is incredible. However, I tell people who come to me to the ranch or watching some of our video series, we have control over how much of that information affects our daily life. We actually have control over that.
Indeed.
And there are ways to be safe. And I tell people there's a difference between insulating and isolating.
Very good.
Feel isolated. We don't have to be isolated during this time. We can utilize this time very productively. There are lots of things that we can do as individuals and as families to insulate ourselves from information and messages that just add to the stress and don't add to the common sense protection that we all know we need. And
I
this is
love that example.
right. So you want to insulate rather than isolate. And I could spend a lot of time just explaining how that works. But we have a methodology. People can call us and we can, they're more than welcome to come out and talk to us.
Okay.
But we have quick, applicable modules that people can take with them to apply at home after coming to the ranch that allow you to live your life differently and to realize that you have control over this. We
Hmm.
have control over this, but we have enormous control over what we think about and how we allow our feelings to decide how we behave. One of the great factors and components that we have in our program that makes us very different from other um, lifestyle programs and cognitive programs, we have been able to teach the concept of separating what you know from what you feel.
Okay.
And when we can get you to separate what you know from what you feel, you don't make decisions based on how you feel. You're able to feel something and make decisions outside of that. But there's a methodology and a skill that's developed that one must develop in order to be able to do that, because we tend to make decisions based on how we feel in the moment. And that's 9 times out of 10 not the best way to make a decision.
Well, yeah, that can be dangerous, Um, yeah, there's so much to say about that, isn't there? The connection between our thoughts and feelings. And because that's why this is so perfect for this particular show. It's mindset matters. That's what we're all about here, and that's what we talk about often.
Right.
And you're,
Meditation.
pardon me.
Meditation coach and a mindset facilitator. So and you teach people the very same concepts. If we don't get control of this, we don't have the life we were given. We're not really living our full life. And I think so often the emotion And the habituation of emotion creates the idea in people's minds that they don't have control, when actually we do. The brain can only hold one thought at a time. Thank goodness.
That's true, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize because of this multitasking world. They're thinking, I can really think about several things at once, and really the brain does not operate that way. You're
Our
right.
thought pattern, is such moves in such rapid fire succession that we think we're thinking about a lot of things at once, when really we break it down, we're thinking one conceivable thought is only that's all we can hold in our minds. We just do it so quickly, and we
And I also found out that because our brain acts as like a switching station, like you said, split second
right.
back and forth, it gives us the illusion that we're thinking of more than one thing at a time. That doing too much of that can really actually wear out your brain because, like you said, it is a muscle.
That's right. That's right. And we're not utilizing it correctly. So one of the things that we do is we kind of step people back and scale back the thought process. And we regenerate your thought process, and we help you to change the way you've been thinking by creating a new neural pathway. And the great thing is we know we can do that. And we know that those things take place. There is actual chemical change in the brain. It's remarkable.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, how does the ranch and your new venture work together?
Well, the newest venture that we have is a skincare line. Now, when you think about your entire life and you think about, we do a lot of work about self worth and self esteem, because at the core of who we are, we must be able to love who we are. We must be able to really genuinely accept who we are, love who we are, and then become selfless, become less preoccupied with that
Yes.
as we move
Okay, I like it.
into service. But in order to do that, we kind of have to have all of this figured out the way we want it to be. And I learned in the entertainment industry and as a model, I learned how really unimportant our physical appearance is as we move through life. We place far too much emphasis on becoming something we aren't, that we don't live our true selves and we don't become who we really are.
Totally.
It's not to say that we don't like fashion or that we don't get dressed up or that you and I
Well, hello,
are like diva centric.
right?
But we've manifested our own personalities. When people meet us, people know two things. Number one, we're genuine. And number two, we are genuine. People know that about us. I mean, that's something, and that's attractive to people, and that's magnetic. And that's what people want. People want to be authentic. They want to be genuine. They want to be genuinely happy. I tell people, and you know this, I have quite an array of clothing, one might say.
Yes, indeedy.
Certainly not things that maybe other people would wear, but I wear them because I love them, and it has no impact. I don't dress for anyone else. Certainly, I would make other choices if I were dressing for other people, but I don't. I dress for me. It's a reflection of who I am and what I believe. I think that our bodies and our outer appearance can be artistic expressions. It is for me. It's a great way to express my creative side, and I enjoy it. And I encourage women to feel that way, and I encourage women to look their best. The first impression, unfortunately or fortunately, is our appearance.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into that, and we unravel that in the program as well, because it's so important in our culture now more than ever. But skincare and good health and all of those things go together to give our life that um, coating of additional joy and and enjoyment. I guess like that's the best way to put it. It's a reflection of everything else that's going on in our life. And good skincare is so vital to us in every age group.
It
Um,
really is. It really is a wellness practice.
it is. It absolutely is. Especially, I mean, our skin is the largest organ that we have, and I think
Yes.
people don't realize that. So how we take care of our skin and how we treat our bodies makes a huge difference in how we feel and how we communicate and our confidence and all of that. So I had a skincare company some years ago, and I actually got so busy with the ranch side of things that I kind of let it go to the wayside. But we're bringing it back, and our products are all natural, they're organic, they are phenomenal.
Oh,
And
good.
for people my age and people younger, they're for everyone, because what they work on is the antioxidant and the protective measures that are necessary for us to be able to preserve our skin on into our 50s, 60s, and 70s. And as
Sign
you,
me up here.
yes, I do get it all. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm going to be 54 in a couple of weeks.
You look like a spring chicken.
You see, it's good.
Maybe there's something to you. You are the product of the product, as they say.
It's good. It's a good skincare regimen for sure, and it's eating healthy and doing my best to stay with a clean diet. Again, we're not looking at drastic, crazy.
Preservation is what you said, to
Right.
preserve
That's right. And
our
then,
skin.
but our products are all natural. But I think the best thing about it, they're reasonably priced. But the best thing about it is that a significant portion of the proceeds are going to go to the national effort to fight suicide.
That's
Suicide
huge.
is a nightmare epidemic and a growing epidemic, unfortunately, in almost every age group and almost every race category.
Yeah.
Um,
And this pandemic hasn't helped this situation at all.
you're right.
I'm sure quite the opposite is true.
You're right. That's right. And there are other organizations and other causes as we go down the line that we may want to help as well. But I work with teen girls, as you know, and I work with at-risk girls in particular, and the suicide rate has increased in that population as well. And that's always something that's been close to my heart. And as you know, I'm a widow. My husband unfortunately made that choice after a cancer diagnosis and a second cancer diagnosis, and some other related things that made his perspective um, tainted.
Hmm.
We know the heartache and the impact that has on families and on lives, and the unnecessary nature of suicide. It goes against everything that we at the farm, at the ranch are about, everything that Life Lived Well is about. There are solutions, there's help, there's every day's a new day, another opportunity to start over, and nothing is worth making that choice. And we want to make a very clear statement with this skincare line that that's really what we're doing. Not only are we going to help you and other people look beautiful and feel better, but you're going to feel great because you're going to know that with every purchase, you may indirectly or directly save a life.
Yeah, wow, that's so huge, Rachel.
Enormous. If
Yeah,
you
that's enormous on both sides, the because building, helping to build one's confidence, both cognitively and physical appearance, can make a difference in a person's life and help them to have the confidence to want to keep living, for one thing.
right,
And then to know that anything that we purchase from you in that vein goes to saving a life. I mean, that doesn't happen every day,
right,
So,
that's right.
so my next question has to be, how can people get a hold of you, connect with you?
Well, our website, we have our original website for the ranch, which provides all the programming. Is www.whitehawkranch.info. And our phone number is 330-819-2032. But our new skincare line is going to go on a different website that will be out shortly, that will be coming soon. And
Okay.
that will be rachelwhitehawklife.com. And the product line will just be known as Rachel Whitehawk. We don't want to confuse anybody. Make it easy.
Wonderful. Okay. That's going to be the name of the product line, Rachel Whitehawk. Awesome. 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 That is going to be good. I just got goosebumps. I can't wait.
I'm
And so what
excited.
we'll do is, and for your information, everyone, those links and everything will be associated right here on the show. So you'll be able to click it, call her, connect with her, and
We have
re-
products, so
I'm sorry, what?
products in Christmas.
Oh, yay.
It'll be good.
Okay, good, good. So listen, Rachel, we're not done. And there's so much more that I would love to ask you. So um, just to put you on the spot, could I invite you again sometime,
I would love it.
perhaps?
Absolutely love
Okay,
it. Yes.
good,
I'll
good.
take you out to the ranch too.
I have to do that. I really, really want to do that. So thank you so much again for being with me today and with all of us today. And I look forward to your return. Okay,
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
absolutely. Okay, everybody. Well, that's going to wrap up our show for today. Wasn't that fascinating? One thing that I want you all to know is that there is going to be a speed networking taking place the third Friday of the month, as every month, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. So on the 18th, if you'd like to meet new professionals and do some speed networking on Zoom, by all means, click the link associated with that event. And for you professional women out there, we are going to have a Divas with a Dream Zoom discussion on September 10th. That's on Thursday from 11 to 12:30. So if you're interested in that, just let me know, and I will send you the link to register. And then if you would like a free consultation for business or life coaching, then you can connect with me about that. So meanwhile, connect with Rachel Whitehawk on her amazing program, and I will look forward to seeing you next time on Mindset Matters.